How's it going, Precalc kids? Today we're going to look at 3.5a, equation solving and modeling. There will be a B to this section. I know it's been a while. First property, we should call it Captain Obvious property. This is not noteworthy, guys. Don't have to write. Just think about what's going on. It says that if b to the u equals b to the v, then u equals v. We've already been kind of doing that. Like if you have 3 to the x, it's equal to 3 to the 2. Well, then x equals 2. Okay? And same thing's true with logs. If you have log base b of u equals log base b of v, then u equals v. That's all there is to it. So if I have log base 5 of x plus 2 equal log base 5 of 8, then x plus 2 equals 8. Pretty basic stuff, guys. Let's do some examples. Okay, I'm going to do this by popular request because we can't see this. This is x over 2, guys. So I have to solve this beast. Now I need to use that one-to-one property from before. The first thing I gotta do is divide by 40. Okay, so I end up with 1/2 to the x over 2 equals 5 over 40, which let's reduce that. It's also known as 1/8, guys. No, I can't solve this yet. I need to get this to look like 1/2. Well, it's 2 to the third, guys. 8. So what's 1/2 to the third? Oh yeah, it's 1/8. So I can rewrite this as 1/2 to the third. Now what I do is use my one-to-one principle and set these two things equal to each other. My exponents. X over 2 equals 3 times both sides by 2, x equals 6. Done. Let's solve this piece same way. We have log base 10 of x to the third. Now what you're supposed to do is go ahead and say, well, it says 10 to the third equals x to the third. By the way, guys, don't forget, all examples are noteworthy, including the one before. If you need to go back and write it, do it. So, x equals 10. Solve. Solve what? E to the x equals 15. How do I solve this beast, guys? How do I get this x by itself? I don't know how to rewrite 15 as something, or e to some power, right? So I don't know how to do that. But what I can do is take natural log of both sides. So remember, this is kind of cancels that out, so you're left with x equals whatever natural log of 15 is, right? Which you can grab a calculator and plug it in and get your answer. I'm not going to mess with the calculator. We all know what happens when I do. Okay? Last example, guys. This is a doozy. This is tough with a UFF. I'll spell it right because that just bugs me. It's tough. Okay, so pay close attention. Watch what I do. There's 2 tricky steps. I'm going to put arrows on both of them. So I need to get x. First thing I'm going to do is look at this like, Mr. Willer, I don't know what's going on. But then I go, I am Mr. Willer. So I times both sides by 2. So I get e to the x minus e to the negative x equals 10. Done, right? Not even close. So I'm going to draw an arrow for this next step. This is where you guys can go. So why are you doing this? I'm going to multiply everything by e to the x. So I have an x and I have a negative x. You're going to see something magical happen. Okay? What's e to the x times e to the x? You multiply, you add your exponents, right? Nice. What's e to the x times e to the negative x? Well, what's x minus x, guys? 0. So I get e to the 0. And that equals 10 e to the x. Again, times everything by e to the x. Because you have an e to the negative x that you got to get rid of. Okay? What's anything to the 0 power? That's right, it's 1. Okay. Now I'm going to get this set equal to 0. So I get e to the 2x minus 10 e to the x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, now this is where tricky step 2. I'm going to set e to the x equal to some dummy variable, w. Okay, so now wherever I see e to the x, I plug in a w. So the negative 1 still, I want to use Mr. Twilliger. Okay. So I'm going to still have my negative 1. Negative 10 is still going to be there. Still equals 0. But now, that e to the x is going to become a w. E to the 2x, that's the same thing as e to the x squared, right? So I can plug in w squared for my e to the x. Now, here's what I do. I have a quadratic equation, right? So I use my negative b plus or minus square root of b squared. You know, you're saying this 12 here is negative 10, but it's squared, guys, doesn't matter. Minus 4ac all over 2a, right? So I get 10 plus or minus square root of 100 plus 4 over 2. 10 plus or minus square root of 104 over 2. Okay. And I might grab my handy dandy calculator, so hold on. Alright guys, I'm gonna be honest. I just use my graphic calculator sitting next to me. I'm not gonna try to use that computer one anymore. It just gives me grief. So I can take your word that you guys know I do this on the calculator, and you get 10.09909195 and negative 0.990195136. You may say, Mr. Williger, why are you using so many decimals? Because it is important that you use all those decimals. Okay? You must use as many decimals as possible for this, guys. Don't just say -1 and 10.1. You will get in trouble. Now, let's think before we plug in w for e to the x, because we aren't done. Both these are solutions for w, right? That doesn't give us our x, so we aren't done. We aren't even close yet. So what we need to do is set each of these equal to e to the x. Okay? So, what I need to do is I'm going to take natural log of both sides. That way those cancel. I'm going to be left with x. A natural log of that beast. Let me grab my handy dandy calculator. 10.09. I get approximately 2.3124. And this one, my natural log both sides. Those will cancel. One nine. Oh, wait a second. You can't have a negative. Natural log of negative doesn't exist. That's your answer. Boom. We're all done. Enjoy.